Morning, Sarah. It's so lovely to see you again. So thank you for joining me today.
Pleasure to join you, Hayley.
We've had a busy week this week, so we've seen each other a few times in the office. We had our apprenticeship open evening last night, and you were in the office, so you were watching us from your seat. So if anyone watching this video knows anyone that's interested in a multi-skilled technician apprentice, then we'll pop the link in this video, and we'd be really keen for anyone to apply to be a member of our team. What did you think, Sarah, when you were at the event?
There was a great buzz in the office, certainly, and it's super that obviously it's an opportunity for residents to have a look and see whether it suits their career progression to take an apprentice place. So a lot of keen young people, certainly, and I met obviously some great Havebury staff as well. So
No, it was a really nice evening. So for those that haven't watched any of our videos before, could you give us a little bit of an overview of your role and also the role of the Resident Experience Committee and the people that are on there?
yes, so the Resident Experience Committee has been around for 3 years now, and I started as chair. Long history working in social housing and really passionate about making sure that we put residents at the centre of everything that we do, looking after their homes, getting them to help us shape services and looking to what needs to happen in the future. On the committee, we've got a great bunch of people. So we've got a number of residents, some tenants, some shared owners from different parts of the geography that Havebury represents. And we have some independent members who bring particular skills or experience as well to the committee in terms of the sectors they work in and the work that they're doing. And we also have a great team of officers from the senior leadership team who support the committee. And last night, Scott Bridge, Jenny Eastbourne and Amy Ledger were there helping us in our discussions. So the committee meets about 5 times a year, but the one last night was a kind of special, should you say, end of year report, really, that we have to put together.
So can you tell us a little bit about that meeting and how it went and the outcomes that you found?
Yes, so I suppose the meeting was in 2 halves. The regulator for social housing requires us to do a report, an assessment at the end of every year. And so the committee looks at that work and we either challenge or add to the draft report that's been done. The key driver for that is the consumer standards that came in quite recently and make sure that we focus on transparency, influence and accountability. So the resident voice coming through everything that we do and the fact that what we do is clear and accessible to everybody. The tenancy standards, so about the more legal relationship and the way we manage our relationship with our residents. And then the neighbourhood and community standard, which is kind of the wider aspect, but picks up on things like ASB and great homes in a great setting, certainly. There is a 4th standard, but that's looked after by one of the other committees of the board, and that's around having a healthy and safe home. So it's a great chance to look back over the 12 months as to everything that's been done, and I think we were all quite shocked at what had been achieved. You know, Hayley, obviously we got a C1 standard for the consumer standards when we were inspected last year. So perhaps it's not surprising that there was a lot of good work to talk about.
Definitely.
And I suppose one of there are a number of standout things, and one of the key things was the chance to emphasise the training that goes on across the organisation, bringing people together from different departments to make sure they're working together. So whether it's in the way we address complaints and investigate and resolve them, so that everybody plays a role in that. And also in some of the other multifunction teams that are in place as we're looking at customer service. So there's been lots of training going on around customer service in the last 12 months. And it's great to be able to kind of see that all written down and think about what we've achieved. It does pose perhaps some questions about, so what's next? Where are we going next? Because we're certainly not going to be resting on our laurels.
Definitely not.
So that was the backward looking bit. And then the other half of the meeting was about looking forward.
Yes, the exciting bit.
Well, it's really heartwarming to see all the work that was done. But the bit, I guess. So as many residents are probably aware, that we've been out to consultation on quite a number of things in the last few months. The resident voice strategy is starting to be discussed, and the sustainability strategy, in which I think over 700 residents
Yes, we had a
contributed
really good return on that, which was fantastic.
their views, which was amazing. So in the committee, we're starting to talk now about the resident voice strategy, which will include a strand of sustainability. So in the same way as residents were kind of asked quite broad general questions, we were starting to look at it in a broad general way.
Yeah.
And we're going to take that forward to our next resident experience committee meeting in May, when we'll probably do a bit of work in small groups to delve down even deeper into what needs to be in the strategy and what residents feel is most important, and make sure that's represented. So that was a really, again, encouraging discussion. And then the final bit of the meeting was for the committee to think about our improvement plan for next year. So how can we as a committee do things better? We've made quite a lot of changes in the time that we've been involved. We flagged up this time a focus on training opportunities for committee members. Quite a lot of those are just bite-sized sessions. And also the opportunity to join the estate walk rounds and all of the other great engagement events that are organised, which is another chance for us to hear firsthand from residents. So that rounded off our meeting, which was really good. And for me, that flowed really nicely into why I was in the office, because I was talking to residents who'd expressed an interest in joining committee or panel or whatever, and got to meet some amazing people who live in our homes, and talking to them about how they might contribute further. So that's another great forward-looking piece of work.
Definitely, it really is. And I think it just shows we are coming from a really good place with our C1 rating, but there's always room for improvement, and residents have such an influence on that. And as an organisation, our board, all of our committee members and our team are so passionate about the services that we provide. And it's really great to see how that's all piecing together from that resident voice at the bottom there and working that way up and then feeding back down to the residents again. So yeah, really productive, and it's really good.
Yeah, a great report for a Friday morning, certainly. So.
Definitely, yeah. So thank you so much, Sarah.
My pleasure.
And we look forward to catching up again soon.
Indeed. Take care.